When did your body betray you? It developed allergies of outrageously tasty foods after years and years of consuming and enjoying them. Bro, I could not imagine. When I used to do a lot of long distance cycling, I would do some leg training in the winter so I'm ready by spring. Well, one time after doing a workout, I couldn't get up from the toilet. Like my legs just stopped working. It was pretty bad. I had literally this exact thing happen to me after a 24-hour martial arts marathon in university. The next day, instead of resting, my dumbass decides to go out and play a game of ultimate frisbee with some guys from the dorm I was staying in. After we finished, we all sat down in a circle and chatted for about 30 minutes, and when it was all finished and everyone got up to leave, I literally couldn't move. My legs had seized up so completely that they just stopped functioning altogether, and no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't get them to work. I had to have someone actually pull me to my feet in order to start walking home. And yes, it did result in permanent damage. My doctors tell me I put down some scar tissue in my leg muscle, and now I have very limited stamina for any exercise that uses my quad/thighs, as my muscles start burning almost immediately. Holy shit. Thankfully I didn't get permanent damage from mine. That's crazy. A few months before turning 24, woke up blind on one eye. Turns out I have multiple sclerosis. I'm gonna search that up later, but that must suck. Could be worse. Got most of my vision back, and I haven't had any more injuries for 5 years. But yeah, it's a pretty serious condition. I discovered at 19 that I have a gene mutation that causes random melanoma tumors in my body. I'm 37 and I've had cancer 8 times. My meat suit is a dumpster fire. My meat suit is a dumpster fire. Apostrophe. I don't know you, but after reading that sentence I think I love you. For some reason it didn't register how funny that line was till I read your comment. I loved eating apples, pears, and cherries until I became allergic at age 22. Mild symptoms including an itchy throat means it is no longer worth the taste. Sad times. Me too. Exclamation mark. It's called an oral allergy. I can't eat any fresh fruit with a core, apples and pears, or a pit, cherries, peaches, etc. Started at puberty with cherries and slowly the list grew over the years. It sucks because my symptoms aren't even that bad. But if you keep pushing it, your body can develop an anaphylactic response. Same here. I have always had pretty bad environmental allergies, dust, pets, pollution, but all of a sudden, after I turned 40, carrots, radishes, and celery started to make my throat itch. Then it expanded to include mango, almonds, banana, fennel, and worst of all coffee. A sip of espresso makes my lips swell like a Kardashian. I finally got good insurance, just as COVID hit and still need to go see an allergist. Anyone find any success treating your oral allergies with shots or drugs? I really miss coffee. At 21, I learned I'm a literal mutant, but instead of it giving me cool superpowers, my body develops tumors. You have the amazing power of accelerated replication, which sounds cooler than it is. Lactose intolerance and irritable bowel syndrome. Body hair where it ought not be. Zits. And random pains for no reason. Worst part is, you're not even going through puberty. You're too old to be getting this kind of weird shit happening lol. What are you talking about? Lol getting old? Lol getting old is another confusing part of being alive. You get used to being able to bounce back and suddenly you can't, and it's harder to keep going the way you were going, and you have to recalibrate. It's a bitch. Every time my stomach growls in a quiet classroom, gotta eat breakfast. Sometimes, when I eat too early, I feel like I have to throw up for the rest of the day. Stairs. When you think about not falling down the stairs while going down one, you get this irrational fear and it becomes much harder to do so. I've fallen down like 6 stairs this way. At some point during puberty my body decided it would be cool to grow extra thick hair on my butt cheeks. Ape gang. It was a dark and stormy day in 7th grade. The teacher reading off a list of names to see who presents next. She is getting closer and closer to my name and I'm fighting to stay awake. Then I hear it. Severing Zeus 691 please present your slideshow. I go up and start listening off facts of God knows what, and then I notice everyone seems to be focusing on me and giggling. I look down and there it is. A boner. I thought, how could I be betrayed by my own body? That day a new fetish was discovered. I'm a woman, and I have 3 man hairs that grow on my chin. They're what would be beard hair if I was a guy. I pull them out whenever I notice them, but they keep coming back. Woman chin hairs suck. I also have this. 25. I started throwing out my back to the point of not being able to walk frequently. I have moderate scoliosis. Chiropractors and weightlifting saved me, and now I'm better in my body at 34 than I was in my early 20s. Take care of your back and build strength, youths. Side note, if you're a woman who is insecure about your weight, just know that crash dieting will weaken you, and it's way worse on your joints to be weak than it is to be a little tubby but strong AF. Lifting won't bulk you without extraordinary effort. Of course a healthy weight is good, but don't mistake thinness above all else with health or happiness. Also yoga/stretching. Sometimes back pain isn't just your back. Sometimes it's the muscle systems in your legs and hips being super tight and your back trying to compensate. Or, like they said above, sometimes distressed joints lead to overcompensation elsewhere. Strength and flexibility will keep you running a lot longer than trying to starve yourself pretty. When I became a resident of Diabetesville, just move out, lol. Then I'd be a resident of Whispering Willows Cemetery. Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. My joints randomly dislocate. Just yesterday, I dislocated my sternum. Yes, that's a thing. Earlier this week, I subluxated my left shoulder and my left hip. On different instances. Hello friend. Currently bedbound with sacroiliac issues until physiotherapy next week. Damn floppy bodies. My body is a pile of shit regardless. IDK how to respond to this one. My wife asked me if I'm interested in going to a HIIT session with her. I told her, please. That would be too easy for me. I was pretty dizzy after 17 minutes of HIIT, and she had to drive us home. Lol. What is HIIT? High intensity interval training. Aloe gel make PP burn. There's a story behind this. Aloe vera plant gel makes for bad lube, I guess. I have hyperhidrosis of the scalp and face. Means I sweat profusely at the slightest change of temp. Hate it. I don't know if that's what I have, but as the sweatiest person I know, I might. I hate winters because you go from cold to warm temps and that plus the layers of clothing makes me sweat profusely. I live in New York City and take the subway and summer suck too because by the time I walk to the subway, my body's warmed up from the walk and then the subway platform's 10 degrees warmer which makes me sweat profusely. When I got a blood clot in my ovarian vein and ended up on blood thinners, which caused me to bleed too much, made me seriously anemic, and eventually led to a hysterectomy, another word I have to search up. Respiratory illness. You don't know what you have until you suddenly can't even breathe. I knew air tax was real. Each and every single time, whenever there is a presentation, just speak bro. UHH. The problem is at the private part department. Has Tourette's syndrome. I have a horrible tendency to shit when I'm stressed. I played in a rugby 10s tournament where I had 5 matches a day and I shat my brains out before every match. This has never left me. My first job in a new country was in a call center. I was wearing my shit suit and walked into the lobby. The first step I let out a fart. It was not a fart. Fuck. I ignore the receptionist saying hello and find a loo on the right. My pants heavy. I stumble over. I de-pants myself and take off my shit heavy underwear. There is a ledge above the bog, so I put my sodden underwear. Head out to deal with the dehumanizing experience that is a call center. The day went well, with my member chaffing on my cheap suit pants. I remembered to go collect my shame in the loo, but alas some poor bastard beat me to it. My ex wanted me to come on her face, and how she was kneeling. Her facial expression gave me the feeling she was in slight pain and I ended up losing my erection entirely and couldn't get it back up. Same thing happens to me when I'm jerkagit and I come across a picture of a girl doing the anime cross-eyed tongue out face. Why is this a thing? Holy shit. It ruins the whole session. I mean, I can usually scroll on and save it, but that face never fully leaves my mind the whole time. What's the deal with this? Nobody does that when they orgasm. It's forced and weird. It developed the world's fastest metabolism. Can eat as much crap and fast food that I want to in a day and either lose weight or stay the same. Been 113 pounds at 5 feet 8 for a while. 17 meters. There are ways to gain weight. A friend of mine in high school was like that. He added a gallon of milk a day mixed with protein powder. Also had a whole pizza with meat with olive oil poured over it. In addition to 3 meals a day. He started to weight, and he went from like 120 pounds to about 175 over 3 years. Age 15 to 18. You know what, I don't trust you, Opus. I think you're just here to laugh at people. I've been caught. 0. Post your own body shame op. Unless you are a coward. Love cats. Allergic to cats. Love pets. Parent won't get me a pet. When I was at the dentist to extract my wisdom teeth, I got so nervous during the procedure, even though there was no pain due to the anesthetics, that my legs started shaking uncontrollably. It was very embarrassing. Had mine removed a couple years ago. They gave me laughing gas, but it barely had any effect. The anesthetics made it painless, but I could feel them pushing and pulling, and hear the crunching. I'm sorry that you got your legs removed. Please click subscribe if you enjoyed this video.